How's it going, knife fanatics? Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to do a quick little response video to Calhoun Knives. He issued an open tag on your top 5 non-branded case knives, and I seen that. I seen Coffin Cutlery. I've watched his video on his top 5, and you guys, anybody that's seen my videos knows that that's right up my alley. My top 5 case knives. You know, I literally only had six knives. I only have 6 case knives, so you know my collection is mostly you know, around budget stuff. You know, I like showing people, you know, younger people, well, anyone that's new to knives. But I kind of, my thoughts was on the channel was, you know, maybe I could reach some younger people that have never been exposed to the knife community, the knife environment, and you know, maybe inspire some of them to get involved in collecting knives, and then to show them that you can find some really nice, you know, old school USA made stuff on a budget. You don't have to have the money to throw after, you know, what case knives bring, especially old ones. So I've always been focused on a lot of you know, charade, old timer, Imperial, Colonial, stuff like that. Those knives, guys, you know, they were considered cheap knives in their day, but when you compare them to, you know, most, I won't say all, but most cheap knives of, you know, today's day and time, they're really nice knives. They're good quality. I mean, they've lasted for decades and decades of use, and they're still in good shape. And the prices have been going up on them a little bit, I think, with all the attention that YouTube channels and stuff have brought to them, have made the prices go up online. But guys, you know, I always stress in any of my tips that I give people, online is great. You know, it opens up a world to you be able to find things that you just may never come across out in the wild. You know, that's great, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand, those people have invested their time and money into going out and finding these knives for inventory. So I mean, the price is going to go up. They have to make their money back, plus, you know, some profit if it's, you know, something that they do for a living. And so you can always find much better deals, you know, what we call in the wild. You know, just going out yourself to yard sales, estate sales, you know, flea markets, pawn shops, and you can find some really good deals. So I just got me a piece of firewood sitting on the ground here. You can see I'm outside. It's just better lighting, and it's a really nice temperature. I just wanted to walk out here in the field and do this video. So it's a crude setup. I just got a piece of, you know, a log laying on the ground here that I'm gonna use as my table. But my top 5, guys. So my top 5 non-branded case knives. I'm sure anybody out there, any knife collector, knife enthusiast, or as I like to call you, my fellow knife fanatics, that's why we are fanatics, right? Everyone that we touch, we love it. It's the best one. We fall in love with it. It's a keeper, right? We love every single one that we come across and touch. So, and that's how I am. And so this was very hard for me to decide what my top 5 was going to be. I changed it like probably 10 times before I could decide, okay, I'm going to do these 5. And part of that was on these types of videos, or these tags, I'm always compelled to go toward the sentimental value of, you know, my favorites, of just, you know, because that's just what got me into the knives. Was, you know, my grandfather, both my grandfathers, you know, my dad, other family members. So that sentimental value is such a draw for trying to pick favorites. And so I did a couple of those, and then I substituted. I wanted to say, okay, that's, you know, that's great, the sentimental value, but I also wanted to show you guys some that patterns that I just personally liked and went out and have bought and have carried and have came to love just from my own experiences, without influence of anybody else. So I did substitute some really nice knives of my grandpa's for some of my personal ones that I've found and come across and bought and used. And so I got a mix of sentimental and just my personal favorites. So I got them in my pocket. I'm gonna grab them at random, and we'll lay them down on the log and talk about them. All right, guys, here's my handy dandy table. I'm gonna reach in my pocket and grab one in no particular order. I can kind of tell what they are just by feeling of the patterns, but no particular order. There's no like top one favorite or anything like that. This is just going to be at random. I'm pulling them out of my pocket. What we got? Oh man, this one right here, absolutely one of my all-time favorites in my collection. And this one, not only is this one of my all-time favorite patterns, I love these camp knife patterns, but this one has a lot of sentimental value. I talked about this knife before. I believe it was in my best budget knife video, I think, is when I went into the story behind this knife. I was a kid, and my dad is, you know, he never had much money, and he's been on disability pretty much my whole life, and so, you know, he's being on a tight income like that. You know, he didn't have money to throw around at stuff, and so we would go to flea markets a lot when I was a kid, just, you know, for fun, something to do, to look around. And we normally didn't buy much. Like I said, he just, you know, paying bills and, you know, surviving. He didn't have a whole lot of extra money, but when he did, you know, he'd always try to get me something, you know, if he could. But I never went expecting it, was my point. I never was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and, you know, beg Dad to buy me something. I never did that. I understood that you know, he was doing the best he could to get by, and we were just, you know, I loved just being with him and going and looking at stuff, right? That was more than enough for me. But we was at a flea market one day, and he seen me staring in a showcase at some knives, and this was one of them. And I must have been really salivating over it, because he walked up and said, son, he said, if you see something in there, he said, let me know. And he said, I'll try to get it for you. And I knew this is the one I wanted. I ran up front and asked for the key, and yeah, I just absolutely love this knife. And he bought it for me, and it was only like, best I remember, I think it was like somewhere between $12 or $14, which is an awesome buy. You know, nowadays these knives right here in this shape are like 50 to 60 bucks is what I've seen them for on eBay. Absolutely love this knife. I don't have my tripod with me, so I'll have to set the phone down to open the blades for you. I'll have to do some edits here, but I'll show you. It's an Imperial. It's the 46 to 56 tang stamp. So it's an older one, Boy Scouts. Absolutely love this knife. As you can see, I have used this knife and loved this knife. Say I was a kid, when he bought it for me. So all through my teenage years and even into my 20s, I carried this thing fishing and hiking and just outdoor stuff all the time. I've used this knife, and it's held up great. It's a beautiful knife. I do need to clean this knife up. I've been saving it for a dedicated cleanup video, so I will be cleaning it up soon. It does need a little love. It's got some gaps there, but I haven't used it for a long time now. I wanted to preserve it, but I used it all the time as a kid and a teenager, man. And so what I was saying earlier, these knives that were considered budget, low quality, to today's standards, these are very high quality, nice knives. So there's my first one in my top 5. We'll grab us another one here. Oh man, and this one right here is another absolute favorite. It would be very hard if I did have to choose a number one especially between these two. This one right here, I just did a cleanup video on this knife the other day. It's on the channel a week or so ago now. This was from my grandpa. This is my grandpa's knife. Stockman, Sears Craftsman. Now I'm not sure, I know Charade obviously made Craftsman, but I know they made some, Camillus made some of them too for Sears, is my understanding. So I'm not sure if this is Charade or Camillus. Someone out there that's a little more knowledgeable, feel free to chime in and let me know on that. But this is an absolutely awesome knife. Absolutely love these synthetic, I guess really they were like white when they were new, but now they're like a yellowish cream. Love them handles. And I just have so many memories of my grandpa sitting on the front porch with a hot cup of coffee and a good cigar, and pulling this knife out of his pocket and just, you know, doing whatever with it, picking at his nails or having to cut something for my grandma. I can just see his hands reaching into his pocket and pulling this thing out. Man, I loved this knife, and he gave it to me, and Absolutely one of my favorites. Love that knife to death, man. Awesome knife. And actually, I'll add to that. I mentioned it in the cleanup video. My grandparents, you know, a long time ago now, actually had a bad house fire, and all of my grandpa's knives were lost except for the two that he gave me. It was just lucky that he happened to decide to give a couple away, and I'm the lucky one that he gave them to, and all his other ones were lost. So really makes this knife just that much more special, and I love it. Absolutely love that knife. I want to get me a whole set of these to match this for a display case at some point. All the different patterns of the Sears Craftsman, that kind of handle. I think that'd be cool. So there's my second one. Let's grab another one out of the pocket here. I'll try to go a little faster. I'm probably making this video too long. I'm sorry, it's shaky cam. I don't have my tripod with me. And here is number 3. Oh man, look at that. The old timer SC500. Absolutely love this knife. This was also my grandpa's knife. This was the grandpa on the other side of the family. This is the one that was in, he was in World War II. I've showed some like that rare Japanese pocket knife I showed that Blade Man did he made a reproduction of it because he had never seen one before. Y'all guys go check that video out if you haven't seen it. He did an awesome job recreating that knife. But anyway, this is from that grandpa. He used to keep this as a kitchen knife. He used it and left it laid on the back of the kitchen sink, and he just used it for cutting meat pretty much. And if I can get it open without cutting myself here, it is sharp. And it gave it a awesome patina. See the tang stamp there, SC500. Absolutely love this pattern. One of my all-time favorite patterns. I'd love to get me a couple more of these that you know, that I would feel a little more comfortable packing around and using, that, you know, had so much sentimental value to it like this one does. I do still use this one. I use it as a kitchen knife too, mainly, just like he did in the house. And but these handles, guys, now you guys let me know. I have looked up all kinds of pictures of these SC500s, and I cannot find one that has handles like that. The richness of the color in these, like all the normal saw cut Delrin, doesn't look like that. I don't know. Let me close it. I don't know if I can get that to show very well. It's got all these little divots in it. I probably can't get that to show. Yeah, there you go. You see all of them, and it kind of makes it look like bone, but it's not. I believe it's Delrin, but I haven't seen any others that were styled quite like this. And I've looked at all over eBay, and I've looked up YouTube videos of people's, and none of them look like this one to me. So I don't know. You guys let me know if there's like a certain run they did with this style of handle, or what the deal is with that. But it's a beautiful handle. It's just got a really rich color to it. I'm sure the camera does not do it near as much justice as it does in person. This thing is just a beautiful knife. Absolutely love this knife. So definitely one of my favorites. And we'll grab us another one here. Reach in my pocket. Alright, so now we're getting to these last two are ones that I substituted other knives for my personal knives, you know, stuff that I came across and bought myself and have used. And this is one of them right here. I did a video on this, so this is one of my earlier videos when I started doing knife stuff on the channel. I believe I got this for $15, I believe it was, here at a local flea market. And a large toothpick, especially if it's you know, a fish knife with the descaler and hook remover blade, is one of my all-time favorite patterns. I know a lot of people don't like them. I love them. I like a big knife, and this is, you know, a big knife, and it's also really slim, you know, and thin this way, so it slides in and out of your pocket good. And I tell you what, guys, for brim fishing, you know, pan fishing, you know, bluegill, crappie, and stuff like that, I'd rather have one of these than a fillet knife. It just So convenient. I've cleaned a lot of fish with these knives, not this particular one, but other ones that I have, and I just love this thing. I carry it all the time. I use it all the time. This is one of my favorite patterns. I love it, and this is one of my favorite knives. I bought this one and cleaned it up, and it is on the channel. Probably didn't do quite as good then. It's kind of first starting out. Lighting and stuff probably wasn't very good on that video, but I did do a cleanup video on it, and this is definitely one of my favorites. I love the large toothpicks. Love them. So there's number 4, and then number 5. It's another one that I found and just came to love just from use here around the farm. I got this one not too long ago. I did a video on it as well on the channel when I bought it. Bought it from a guy at he had a little yard sale there at our local gas station here in town. Will let you set up yard sale tables in the grass beside the store, and he was set up there and he had this, and I believe I said in that video, you guys can go back and watch it, I can't remember, I think he had $5 on it, and I think that's right. And I was going to get it, and I noticed the corkscrew was broke out of it, and I believe I offered him 4. Guys have to go back in that video and watch, but I believe I offered him 4. It's either 4 or 3, but I think it was 4. I think I offered him $4, and you know, he said yes, and that was a heck of a deal. I use this knife all the time. The corkscrew being gone, you know, doesn't bother me at all. I use this on the farm just about every day. All these different little blades come in so handy on either, you know, the weed eater or just different stuff that I'm working on. I'll even use these blades on knife cleanups. I'll get them out and use them to scrape out some dirt and stuff out of the liners, and I just love this knife. I use it all the time. It's razor sharp. Let me open it up here. And it is a Colonial USA. It's their version of, you know, like a Swiss Army knife. $4, can't beat it. All the other blades are in perfect shape. Say it is missing the corkscrew, but I ain't worried about that. And it has a bail. I absolutely love bails, and so love this knife. Like I say, this is my daily most of the time. I use it all the time, and so that's my number 5, guys, and that's my top 5. You guys let me. Oh, this knife, I didn't show you guys the tang stamp on this one, did I? It's a Colonial too, but I'll show it just cause Colonial. But anyway, guys, that's my top 5 non-case knives. Like I say, these 3 very sentimental, and I just love them. And these 2 I wanted to show, just ones that I had stumbled across and bought on my own without anyone else's influence, and have just come to love just from using them for myself. So appreciate you guys so much for watching. I'll be looking through all your guys' top 5 videos. I've watched a couple of them, and you guys comment, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Which one's your favorite? Yeah, all of them, mine too. You can't eat them, you just gotta pick which one's your favorite.